So what's next for Resident Evil? Hey, welcome to my channel everyone, I'm the Global Cherry and we'll discuss the future of the Resident Evil series. Before we begin, subscribe, like the video, and enjoy the show. Welcome to the family, son. From what I've seen at the Game Awards, it looks like we're still in the dark about Resident Evil 9. Capcom left us hanging like a groom or bride abandoned at the altar. Many fans expected 2024 to be a massive year for Resident Evil, but so far it hasn't delivered much. All we've had are leaks from Dust Golem or Biohazard Declassified hinting at Resident Evil 9, another Resident Evil 1 remake, more DLC for Resident Evil 4, a potential Resident Evil 5 remake, a Code Veronica remake, and even an Operation Javier remake or DLC. Despite all this chatter, there's been no official word from Capcom, whether it's a delay or the devs taking extra time. The next Resident Evil game still feels like a distant dream. However, if the rumors about Resident Evil 9 are true, this could be the most ambitious entry in the series with the longest development cycle to date. According to past playtest leaks, Leon and Jill might be the protagonists of Resident Evil 9. As much as I adore seeing Leon in action, I think it's time for our golden boy of survival horror to hang up his handgun and enjoy retirement. Leon deserves bigger challenges. Resident Evil 9 would be too small time for him. On the other hand, Jill Valentine is the perfect fit. Her name carries immense weight in the series, and Resident Evil 3 Remake didn't do her character the justice she deserves. This could be Capcom's opportunity for redemption for her character. Resident Evil 9 could develop Jill's character in ways Resident Evil 3 Remake didn't. She would play a more pivotal role in Resident Evil 9 as a protagonist, as she has unresolved storylines tied to the T virus, Nemesis, and the trauma endured in the Spencer Mansion. Jill has faced it all, and those experiences have shaped her psyche, making her one of the most capable protagonists in the franchise. She would be an ideal lead for a game involving the Megamycete. Her combat skills, expertise, and resistance to the virus could give humanity the upper hand. Jill embodies the spirit of survival horror itself. Considering Chris played a central role in Village and made his return in Resident Evil 7, it's only fitting for him to join Jill in tackling the Megamycete. Their bond has been one of the emotional pillars of the series, and seeing them fight side by side again would be a nostalgic moment for Resident Evil fans. Resident Evil 7 introduced new faces like Ethan Winters, but many fans seem to crave the return of classic characters in future entries. According to recent leaks, however, Resident Evil 9 might continue exploring the aftermath of the events in Resident Evil Village and the Shadows of Rose DLC. In Village, Ethan Winters fought tooth and nail to save his daughter Rose from the clutches of Mother Miranda and her twisted family, a lineup that felt like a bizarre mix of Nicolas Cage, Chucky, Flounder in retirement, and of course the towering Lady Dimitrescu, who can always step on me. Negotiating with them definitely cost him a hand or two. After Ethan's ultimate sacrifice to protect Rose, she inherited powers born from the game's bioterrorism and the mutations caused by Umbrella's Long Shadow. Fast forward to the Shadows of Rose DLC. Rose embarks on a journey to rid herself of these powers, seeking the elusive purifying crystal. Along the way, she encounters the Megamycete in its consciousness form, battling its influence while navigating her own inner turmoil. In the end, Rose chooses to embrace her gifts, finding strength in the love and sacrifices of her father. Ethan's unwavering love transcended even death, giving Rose the emotional fortitude to overcome the forces threatening her. This heartfelt connection not only brought closure to their story, but also positioned Rose as a key player in the series' future.
I will never let you have what you want!
Rose, look out! Don't give up, Rose. Find that crystal.
If the leaks are to be believed, the Winter Saga is far from over, and Rose's role in Resident Evil could expand in exciting and unexpected ways, so we could see her again. If a Resident Evil 1 remake is next in line, both old and new fans will have an incredible reason to revisit the game that started it all. Back at the Spencer Mansion in the eerie Arklay Mountains, where survival horror was truly born, this game is an unforgettable journey, a harrowing adventure filled with claustrophobic hallways, haunting corridors, corridors and twisting passageways within an unknown mansion. It also introduced one of the franchise's most terrifying subplots with Lisa Trevor, adding a deeply personal horror to the game's already chilling atmosphere. The remake brought innovations like defensive weapons and a new control scheme allowing players to break free from dangerous grapples. But what made it truly unique was its commitment to the fixed camera style. It was the only remake not given the modern over-the-shoulder facelift. And yet, as simple creatures of habit, many of us would gladly buy it again if Capcom gave it a full graphical overhaul. According to the leaks over the past year, the second remake could combine elements of the Resident Evil 1 remake with the modern mechanics of the Resident Evil 2 remake. The rumored title? Simply Biohazard. Crimson Heads are set to return, zombies will take more bullets to kill, and the pacing will lean toward a slower, more deliberate horror experience. The devs would reportedly move away from pre-rendered backgrounds to adopt a third-person, over-the-shoulder perspective. Beyond the Resident Evil 1 remake, leaker Dusk Golem has hinted that Capcom has up to 5 Resident Evil projects in development. If true, it shows Capcom is cooking up plenty to ensure the franchise remains long-lived. Among the rumored projects are remakes of Resident Evil 0 and Code Veronica, and while Code Veronica is a masterpiece deserving of a remake, my gut tells me Capcom is more likely to prioritize Resident Evil 5 first. Why? Well, if Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 have all been remade, it's only logical for 5 to be next. We can count after all, and Separate Ways already teased a connection. If done right, this remake could satisfy both longtime fans and newcomers while giving Chris and Wesker's dynamic a chance to shine. Capcom has proven they can breathe new life into these classics. Resident Evil 2's remake became more atmospheric, haunting, and more visceral with its fresh perspective. While the Resident Evil 3 remake fell short in some areas, it still delivered incredible cinematic moments. And Resident Evil 4 remake? A polished, refined masterpiece that drew players in like moths to a flame. Or dare I say, young lambs embracing the holy body. Ironically, my own journey with Resident Evil began with Resident Evil 7 before I worked my way back through the series. Playing it in PSVR 1 had me seeing stars in the most literal sense. Mama Baker was the last person I wanted to hug, and yet I couldn't tear myself away from the terror. With Capcom's track record and these leaks, the future of the series looks brighter and scarier than ever. Overall, despite not hearing anything concrete regarding the Resident Evil game, I do have high hopes for the franchise. I'm glad they're not rushing on a release considering what Cyberpunk was like at launch, but hopefully we can hear more news soon, possibly a trailer around summer 2025 perhaps? Would they compete with GTA 6's release? Not sure. But regardless, PlayStation events would probably be the only source of information we should keep an eye on if we want to carry on our Copium takes. That is all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, and comment your thoughts on the next Resident Evil game. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and that's all.